So I'm sure you guys know who Killer Mike is. He was a huge supporter of Bernie Sanders, and he's part of the rap duo Run the Jewels. Now, he was surprisingly on the NRATV. I know some of you guys may be like, what the fuck, the NRA has a TV, show. Yeah, I guess they do. And he's going to, as a surprise to you, explain why he's against the current March for Our Lives movement and why he is super pro Second Amendment. Check it out.
With everything that's happened, like with the Parkland shooting.
Yeah. Very tragic.
Very. And what's odd to me, I know why it's being done. It's systematic.
Yeah.
But this idea that because I'm a gun owner or I'm hardcore about the Second Amendment or, from that perspective, it's like, that doesn't mean that I lack the empathy or the ability to sympathize.
Not at all.
Yeah, if anything, it's quite the opposite. Yeah. It's like we disagree about how we both want to save these kids' lives.
Yeah.
Period. But somehow, because my method doesn't agree with your method,
yeah,
I'm a monster.
Yeah.
Or something wrong.
And that's
with
unfair.
Me. You know what I mean?
I have worked as a tireless advocate on the behalf of children, disenfranchised women in my community.
Yeah.
And I've also worked with gun groups like Georgians Against Gun Violence that are not, the most pro Second Amendment. Yeah. But I say if there's a table to be sat at, the gun owner needs to be there. So I kind of try to see a problem from the whole perspective. And there have been things that you've disagreed with me. There's been that I disagree with you. As friends, we've talked, right? But there was something dead on that the woman who's the NRA spokesman said. And everyone just kind of lost it. What's her name?
Dana.
Dana said something. I don't agree with everything Dana says, but Dana says that the tears of white mothers are like ratings. And that's so true. And it was so sad to hear her acknowledge it. Yeah. But it's true. And black people know it's true because black people say it in conversations in coffee houses to themselves.
There's a lot of people who think they woke out here will realize very quickly they ain't so woke.
You not woke. You not woke. Nah. Wakanda, everybody had guns and spears and everything else you needed. Yeah, like you can't continue to be the lackey.
Yeah.
Like, people are accusing you of being a lackey of the NRA. Well, you're a lackey of the progressive movement because you have never disagreed with the people who tell you what to do. Like, think about that. You have never disagreed with, you've never said to them, hey, hold up. Hold on. A football player just got shot by an armed white man for a traffic argument. A black teenager got shot by an armed white man in a gas station because he had played his music loud. Where were you then?
Yeah.
Where? Like when you went, you got to do like a girlfriend when you list all the stuff you've done for the boyfriend. And if you're not in a reciprocal relationship, why are you in this relationship? Because the same people I see dogging you out will be the same people I see posting a month from now says, why weren't you at our Black Women's March?
When you have something for so long, especially when we talk about the generations that come into, even me, right? Some things with respect to my freedom, I didn't always feel this way.
Yeah.
There were things that I learned about and come upon them as time went on. But we get to a point where we're like, oh, why do we need this? We don't need this anymore. Yeah. We're so progressive. We progress past this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna progress us right off a cliff. Yeah. You keep going in this direction.
You're gonna progress us into slavery.
Yeah, pretty much.
People say, oh, slavery can't exist. Slavery does exist now. Slavery exists according to the 13th Amendment.
They never abolished it.
The same people who are telling you we need to abolish the Second Amendment, they ain't there for the documentary 13. Yeah. They're not there at your march to end that. That begins to be my question. Like, what is an ally? Because an ally is not necessarily a friend.
Yeah.
Right? It's not necessarily, it's not fam. We have a mutual interest in something that progresses us both. Yep. Why are your allies not fighting your other fights with the same vigor you're fighting these? Like I told my kids on the school walkout, I love you. If you walk out that school, walk out my house.
I'm laughing, but it's so serious.
That's simple. We are a gun-owning family. Yeah. We are a family where my sister farms. We're a family where we'll fish, we'll hunt, but we are not a family that jumps on every single thing an ally of ours does because some stuff we just don't agree with.
Here we are. We have a march that's going on next week, and our biggest celebrities are donating millions to a march.
Yeah.
While our inner city schools over here are in deplorable conditions. We're donating $3 million to a march about gun control. Yeah. But yet we have communities over here that are in economic downturn. Like it's ridiculous to me.
Yeah. Celebrities often don't know what to do. They're told what to do. I had a celebrity very famous, like sold well over 20, 30 million records, called me and said, hey, Mike, what you doing right now? I said, I ain't doing nothing. He said, could I call you? I was like, what's up? He called me. He was at a radio station. They were pressuring him to do a anti-gun thing. And I could tell he wasn't comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And he said, would you mind explaining them and why you? And I would say, very simply. I said, you know, I'm African-American, you know, 54 years out of apartheid. I'm very pro-Second Amendment. This is why. And before you say, well, what about the children? My daughter goes to Savannah State University. There was also a shooting on that campus. Talked to my wife and daughter after that. The decision was, we're going to go to Savannah. She's going to get a gun and train more. And after that, they said, Mike, we never heard that perspective. We surely respect and understand it. And they stopped pressuring him to do something he didn't want to do. And that ain't just guns. When, as a celebrity, they asked me, hey, will you do this anti-bullying drop for radio? Absolutely not. Why? Because your child needs to get punched in the face so he can learn to punch someone back. And that isn't saying that it's right to be punched in the face. That's saying as sure as you're an adult, something or someone's going to punch you in your face. And you have to develop the aptitude and the fortitude to fight back. And that's just not in the physical.
Yeah.
You know, we are raising a generation of kids where everyone gets a trophy. But in real life, everyone don't get a trophy.
No.
You know, in real life, the cops don't come on time. You know, in real life, depending on where you live, you're not going to have the time to try to logic your way out of something.
Yeah.
So this was very disappointing to see for many different reasons, but you know, one of the things that really seems to be that is annoying to me is the kind of pinning that somehow it's basically we're anti-Second Amendment, but they're pro-Second Amendment. We're not anti-gun owner. We're just trying to fix the system so that people who shouldn't be eligible to get guns, people who are mentally ill or have a criminal background and are not of the right age and certain things like that, they should not be able to get guns. And also there are certain things like bump stocks that should be banned for multiple reasons. One, because it already undermines current legislation that's in place, but also because if you ban bump stocks, it's going to lower the severity of mass shootings. Now, you know, what I think was really bad is at the end where he said he refused to do any drops for anti-bullying PSAs. I think that's really a bad idea, and I just think it's not smart. You do want to advocate for no bullying. That should be the goal, obviously. Now, he said that basically what he seemed to be kind of saying there really big was that, you know, you're a lackey for the progressive movement or something like that if you're somehow in support of the policy positions and the movement of the March for Our Lives movement. Somehow you're a progressive lackey if you support raising the minimum age of gun purchasing to 21, if you want to ban bump stocks, if you want to make background checks universal. Somehow you're a progressive lackey for doing that, but I completely disagree, and I don't really see where he's at. And again, I don't want this is not a situation of gun owner versus us. I'm not against the gun owner. I'm trying to change. I want the system to change so that we can prevent people who either shouldn't be able to get guns for a bunch of different reasons, whether they're obviously too young, or they failed a background check, or there was no background check that happened, or, you know, different, and certain things, again, like bump stocks should not be purchased. So, and they also seem to not realize, and this happens a lot, that you can do two things at the same time. Okay, and this is really important. The movement of the March for Our Lives is very important because, yes, mass shootings are at a mass high. And again, the response to these mass shootings is not more guns. When you have more guns, it's going to create a much more chaotic society and situations that we get to. It's not like Call of Duty where you see someone shooting and then you can just, you know, shoot them right back. Situations are nowhere near like that. Could you imagine a place like a movie theater, someone shoots someone, and what would happen if everybody was armed? That idea is completely stupid. you know, in one district they decided to put buckets of rocks in the room to throw at the shooter, which again I think is just not only stupid, but just it's mainly just insufficient in terms of actually being able to do anything. So again, I'm disappointed with Killer. Oh, and by the way, him bringing up Wakanda from Black Panther. Black Panther, great movie, by the way. It's a fucking movie, dude. That's not actually comparable to the real life situation that we're in. So that was kind of embarrassing. But I'm disappointed in this position. Oh, actually, something else that I wanted to add as well, because there's all of these different things that he said and did that I disagree with and I wanted to criticize. But I also want to criticize him just going on NRATV, because I think that the NRA is inherently immoral at this point, because they're representing the gun industry, not gun owners. And what they're doing is they're actively obstructing, trying to sue, and prevent, and they are preventing these common sense gun laws like banning bump stocks, raising the age requirement, and making background checks universal. They're blocking all of these things, and I covered this with the bump stock situation, where they said, oh yeah, you know, we'd probably support it, but then when it actually came down to it, they didn't endorse any legislation, and they were against it. So just going on NRA TV was bad in and of itself. If he had made a video himself posting to Twitter, hey, I'm a gun owner, blah, Second Amendment, blah, had he done that, that would have been much less worse than this. And now this allows the Clinton camp to be able to say, yeah, I read one tweet that said, the road from Bernie Sanders to Tomi Lahren is not a far one, which is just stupid, of course, for many different reasons. But I'm disappointed very much so with Killer Mike on this. But we'll see what happens.